Broadcasting live from Youngville, North Carolina and Ontario, Canada, this is Got Mead Live, a weekly show where Vicky Rowe and AJ Airmans bring you the mead news, meadery info, and mead-making discussions from all over, talking with mead makers, mead owners, industry mavens, and influencers. This is Got Mead Live, a weekly podcast about mead and the people who love it and where the mead world is going. And now here are your hosts, Got Mead owner Vicky Rowe and mead and wine maker AJ Airmans.
Live from the mobile den of the Puppies of the Apocalypse, Curly in Holly, Michigan until the weekend, the Bunny Pen in Ottawa, Canada, and where are you, Carvin?
Today I'm in Parsons, Kansas.
Okay, in Parsons, Kansas, where we have Carvin Wilson and his Got Mead Live. Welcome to the show, and let's get things going. And just as a thing, this is the first time we've done the show mobile, so hopefully there will be we already did the fuckity fuck dance beforehand, so hopefully there will be no equipment problems. And
we're not supposed to tell them that.
Yeah, we're not supposed to tell them. Yeah. Okay, so housekeeping stuff. Listen live on gotmead.com. Just click Got Mead Live Radio Show, and you'll see the player right there. It's live when we are. If you're mobile, you can listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, TuneIn, and Stitcher. You can also listen to us live on our Facebook page at gotmead.com facebook.com/gotmead, blah, 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 blah. And replays are always available on Got Mead, Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher, all the way back to the beginning of the show. So if you want to binge, you can totally binge. Facebook, you find us at facebook.com/gotmead for the page, facebook.com/groups/gotmead for our discussion group. On Twitter, we are at gotmeadnow. You can tweet us anytime. You can also, if you look on the Got Mead Live Facebook page, Got Mead Live show page, you will see a link to our live Skype chat that we have during every show. And if you want to send us questions, put your mouse over the Got Mead Live Radio Show on the web page, and you will see a drop down where you can send us questions for upcoming shows. If you want to call in, and no guarantees that this is going to work because Skype keeps changing things and it's not working the way it usually does, you can call us at 803-443-MEAD, and that's 803-443-6323. So, that being said, we do this because we love it, and but the equipment, the software, the storage space, yada yada, and all that kind of fun stuff costs money. So if you like what you're hearing, if you like what you're finding on Got Mead, if it has a value to you, please consider becoming a supporting patron member. It's only $30 a year. You get access to our award-winning recipes on the Got Mead patron section of our forum. You can get into the patron group on Facebook. And you get to access some really talented people like Carvin Wilson here, who is nevertheless like posting all over Facebook about mead all the time anyway. But hey, he's on the show with us tonight, so consider doing that. And thank you to all the folks that have signed up since our last show. We really appreciate your patronage. Thank you so very much. So housekeeping stuff out of the way. Let's go ahead and get things going. AJ, what you drinking?
I am drinking an early offering from Chateau Chevette. It's a lime melamel I started in 2006 and bottled in about 2008. It's still got some of the phenolics that it had when I bottled it, but they haven't faded. And yes, age does not solve all problems, but
we'll hear more about that later. You guys didn't hear the pre-show conversation. We got Carvin off on a rant right away.
But when I pulled the cork, the first thing I smelled was honey, which is always a nice sign. And it's not as nice on the tongue as I would like, but it leaves a really nice aftertaste, and I can still make out the honey I used and the lime. So, not too bad for one of my earlier attempts.
Not too shabby. I've got a pawpaw mead that Kellen Wilkins, shout out Kellen, sent to me, and decided to, everybody hears me talking about how I want to do pawpaw, and I've never actually seen or tasted a pawpaw, so I just have this mental image of what they must taste like based on descriptions that I have heard or read, and it's supposed to be like a custard, strawberry, banana thing, and to which to me is like, like the ultimate fruit. And I have had a couple different pawpaw meads, and none of them taste like my mental image of what it should taste like yet. So this one is really interesting. It's like a reddish gold color, and it's got kind of a almost whiskey nose, and not like alcohol whiskey, but that kind of smoky sort of thing going on. And it's there's strawberry, and that AJ, you and I were talking about how there always seems to be some sort of underlying phenolic thing that happens with so many strawberry meads. It's got a little bit of that. There is definitely banana in the middle there, and there's kind of a creamy texture to it, and then it's kind of got some strawberry in the finish, but there's this smoky whiskey thing going on in there. So I'm not sure what to think about it. Kellen, talk to me later, and I'll give you some more detailed info on all of the stuff that I'm tasting, but it's interesting, I think, is the best way I can do it, because I'm not sure what I'm looking for here, so, not having had a pawpaw. So, if you're on the Got Me chat, somebody please let me know what a pawpaw is supposed to taste like. And I'll have a better idea. I don't know, Carvin, have you ever had a pawpaw?
You know what? It's been a while, but I have had them. Being a Southern boy, so I've had them. They're good, and most people don't know what they are, but
I keep missing them.
But they're really good.
Yeah, they're supposed to. They grow in Michigan, and I remember hearing about them as a kid when I was living up here, and I always wanted to try one, never had the chance, and then I moved to the South, and people were like, well, they grow around here, and I'm like, but where? Somebody tell me where I can find one. I can't find anybody who actually grows them. So someday I'm going to have a pawpaw. So what are you drinking, Carvin?
Well, it's been a long travel day, so I'm drinking tea. But I'm drinking tea with fireweed honey. One of the ways I try to, taste different honeys and experiment with different honeys is tea. So I'm always drinking teas with different mixture of honeys.
Do you take like a selection of honeys with you when you travel? Because I know you're on the road a lot, or at least it seems like you have been lately.
Yeah, I do. I try to bring at least 2 or 3 with me. It's something that I'm thinking about making, and I'll use them in my breakfast cereal. I'll make smoothies with them, but I like to drink teas with them, and it gives me a sense of what I'm going to do with the honey.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, it gives you something to be thinking about while you're... David Webb's asking you iced tea or hot tea? I actually went to hot iced chai earlier today because it was getting hot and icky around here, so I decided to go to iced from my usual hot chai.
Did we lose Carvin?
Did we lose Carvin? I don't know.
No, I'm still
attention.
Here. I'm paying attention. I'm just a polite Southern gentleman. I don't like to interrupt.
Then you better learn to, because she and I will just jump right in there.
Okay, well, I'll jump in. I do have a funny story to tell about how I basically started entering competitions this year. So I've been making mead for about 10 years, and, I pretty much just stay to myself in my little closet. And I was listening to one of your podcasts on Got Mead, and it was Jason Phelps, and it was him and Sergio, and they were talking about
they were fun.
And it was a great podcast. And so I reached out to Jason, at least I thought I reached out to Jason via Facebook, and I actually ended up, I don't even know how I screwed this up. I actually reached out to John Talkington and was telling him how much I love this podcast, and he's like, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I'm not Jason. This is John Talkington.
He was on the show too, but on a different show.
So long story long story is short, me and John started talking about mead. We had this common love of mead, and I started sending him meads, and John sent me a couple meads, and he was like, Carvin, you really need to enter these in some competitions. And I'm like, I'm not really a big competition guy. And he's like, you really need to enter some of these in competitions. So hence, I started entering into competitions, and I was pretty shocked when I took home 4 Mazers this year and some of the other awards. But another motivating factor is my home brew club, the Arizona Society of Homebrewers. We have a great mead maker there named Jeremy Volts. And my number one motivation is my wife loves Jeremy Volts mead better than my mead. And that shit really pisses me off. So I'm on a constant effort to make better Pymonts and mixed berry meads than Jeremy Volts. So that takes a lot of research because he keeps kicking my butt, and every time I think that I make one that's better than his.
I think you took more Mazers than he did this year, so...
but here's the thing. His Pymonts and mixed berries are still better than mine. So my life's not complete until I beat Jeremy Volts. And Pymonts and mixed berries because...
So John broke you out of the closet? And Jeremy's your driving force? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. So I really do have those guys to thank, and Jason Phelps too. I've always looked up to Jason. He didn't know that, of course. I was secretly stalking him for a long time, but
Hear that, Jason? You're being stalked, dude.
So there's a lot of knowledge out there. Those guys share a lot of knowledge. They take their time. They share a lot of knowledge. Like John running the Mead Makers group. There's so much wealth of knowledge out there. But
it really is, yeah.
We look up to them. But as I said before, deep down inside, they envy us because we don't have the TTB, and we can do stuff that they can't do, like wake up 2:00 in the morning in our underwear and go in the garage and make mead. I know that's a bad visual start,
really
but
is.
it happens a lot.
It's kind of a scary visual.
And we don't have some of the limitations and restrictions that they do, and I think sometimes deep down inside they actually envy some of the crazy stuff that we come up with, and I do like to come up with crazy stuff. So there you go. That's how I got started in mead again.
I wish I'd known that you were, because I found out that you had the room at the Mazer like late enough that when I got up there, all your mead was already gone. And it was like, wait, what?
Yeah, the Mazer party suite has gone down into Mazer Cup folklore.
It has,
and we're gonna do it again next year. And we just wanted a place to where people could hang out, because I'm sorry, I like my personal space, and I don't want none of you people in my room touching my stuff. So I was like, okay, let's just get a suite to where everybody can hang out and drink mead and talk mead. And it was great seeing some of the best mead makers in the world sitting there talking mead. Nobody had their guard up. It was just a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing, and I'm looking forward to it happening next year. And it was a great thing, and I'm really looking forward to doing it again next year.
It was really awesome that you did that. I mean, I was just pleasantly stunned by the turnout that you had. Well, I shouldn't have been stunned, because good mead maker and a party room is always a good thing. But having a place like that to be able to go and hang out and not get in trouble with the hotel was pretty dang awesome. It really was. It was awesome, but the thing that I'm proud of the most is the table share that we did, and that we're going to do it again this year for Mazer, which is we purchased, I think, 3 or 4 tables, which gave small mead makers an opportunity to showcase their mead. So I think we ended up having like 7 or 8 different meaderies there, and hey, I think all those meads sold out. Not sold out, but they got poured out really quickly. And I think we're going to expand it to like 5 or 6 tables, next year. Anybody who knows me knows that I have no desire to ever be a commercial mead maker.
I kind of just want to be Bobby Jones. I just want to promote the